was stuck in a rut with my prose so bland. Then draft.AI came up, took my hand. It whispered, "Fear not, for I am free. Let's turn your words into poetry." Draft.AI, you're my free guide. From a wordy mess to a smooth ride. With your help, my writing's on fire. And for zero cost, you're my desire.
Welcome to Friday night. Friday night with the Future Fiction Academy. That's right, it's Friday. It's time to party. And that party is going to be all about your first draft. How you doing, everybody? My name's Kello Harrod. I am the head creator over at the Future Fiction Academy, and we are here to help all of you writers out there. Include whoa. That's one of my special guests tonight. We have a ton of special guests tonight, including someone who's usually not a guest. She's usually a host, but she's a guest tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the stage for the first person to the stage. Hey, Stacey, how you doing? Oh, are we on mute? Yes, we are. I got you. Hold on. There you go.
Hey, hello.
How you doing? Welcome to Friday and to our party with YFD. Tell me, girl. We got to be doing some YFD. And ladies and gentlemen, we have links in the descriptions below. Descriptions. There aren't multiple. There is one. We have links in the description below. And if you just go ahead on and click one of those links, you will be covered. You will be covered in the comfort of the FFA, the Future Fiction Academy. We will help you learn about artificial intelligence and how to write with it. So, how did your week go, Stacey?
Good, and I feel like you have to introduce me first this time, or these past few times, because I'm the boring one. Was it last week or the week? No, last week was Lynn. The week before, it was Stacey and Carlo. And Carlo had his own cheering section. He had his own fan club. And this week we have someone new. Oh, yes, Stacey. Thank you, April.
Not even close. Not even close. You are not the boring one. Come on. Don't even get me started with that crap.
We have someone else also this week.
Yes.
I think might have her own cheering section too.
Yes.
I'll take all my love right now because I think I'm going to be overshadowed by her as soon as she comes out.
She is one of our staff people, and she's a great asset to the Future Fiction Academy. I bring to the stage for the very first time on our Friday night premiere live stream, the incomparable Mel. How you doing?
Hello.
It's good to see you. It is so good to see you here, even though we're looking at that incredibly Darth cat of yours. Actually, what do you call that? What do you call that?
Darth cat.
Darth cat.
Yeah.
Darth cat.
Yeah. So my office is a little bit deconstructed right now. So
wait. We got to do it the right way. It's a deconstructed right now. All right. Now I have one last guest who will be
coming in a minute.
Not be here the whole time, but before we do any of that, apparently I saw this big hand waving at me. But since we can't pull that person to the stage, Mel, could you tell everybody what it is you do at the Future Fiction Academy?
I bug everybody. No.
Maybe what you don't do at the Future Fiction Academy would be easier.
I ideate all over everyone and say we should do XYZ in a little bit different way than Elizabeth does. But
did you have to put it that way?
Well, no, because Elizabeth ideates amazingly, and I feel like I'm catching up with her sometimes. But then I'm oh, and then she just comes out with this massive blow you away kind of idea, and I'm that's so cool.
That happened.
Yes.
Working with the EAW, that happens.
Yes. But
yeah.
So most recently, well, for the last several months, we've been, developing your first draft, and that has been great time. And
You're a developer of your first draft. That's what you do at the Future Fiction Academy? You help develop software?
Yeah. Yes. I help develop software at the Future Fiction Academy.
Very, very cool. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said, it's a good time.
Yes, Mel is genius. My goodness, look at the whoa. All right, we got to get this party started here. Okay, here we go. Hello, Skew. How you doing, Susan? Hello, Rachel. Bloomstone. April. Jorge. Hey. Kurt. Dan. Zed. Ross. It is good to see everybody. Do I see any other new faces? Any other new bodies?
Before I forget, we did have a specific request for Zedicus from my tidal wave class. I need a title for a cozy fantasy, something about a librarian and a baking, and I don't know, we were trying to come up with a pun, and we didn't have any like dad joke aficionados in the class.
Ooh.
And we were all looking for Zedicus. So luckily he's here tonight. Just start like throwing out the books and cooking and something. Magic, I don't know. Just start throwing stuff out randomly.
King of puns, Zedicus. Zedicus, the king of puns. That's what I like to say.
If anybody wants to dethrone Zed, just start.
Bring it. Bring it. Okay, and Tiffany's here. How you doing? Hola, the Gossip Small Group was so much fun with Alyssa, covered a million topics, LOL. Yeah, because at the Future Fiction Academy, we have, all right, so the way that it used to be set up, we were this monolithic mastermind, and then someone came up with a great idea to start breaking things into small groups so that the smaller groups who have a lot more in common with each other can actually get a lot of stuff done, actionable things that they can get done inside of their own genres, maybe inside of their own niches within the publishing industry. And it's worked out really well. I think a lot of people just love small groups.
Yeah. So maybe Elizabeth will come up with this mind-blowing thing, or have this marathon thing on women's fiction or
catch me if you can.
She just won't let us set her up, will she?
I thought you were. I thought that was the setup.
There was the setup. You have to catch her if you can.
Hi, everyone. I've missed you so much. It has been too many weeks, and I've missed Kello, and I've missed Stacey, and I've missed Mel. I've missed everybody. I've missed all the chat. I've missed it all.
I missed you too.
I had no clue when to let her in.
Oh, thank you for not doing that while I had soda in my mouth, because that was just everywhere.
She did it.
I
was like,
well, you know what? We'll be a little bit of Taylor Swifty. All right. Easter eggs. So if you read the newsletter, you already know. But Elizabeth has a candle in my background. So what am I planning to do this weekend?
Make friendship bracelets?
No.
You said Taylor Swift.
Jen BB's here. She'll know.
Where's Jen BB?
I don't know. She may not be making it tonight.
I was like, I think you are.
Plumstone got it. And Susan got it. And Rebecca got it. Yeah. So earlier this week, this is so special. I am so excited about this. You guys, you're going to get to watch me and April Floyd co-write this weekend, which
that's so exciting.
Has never been like, you guys, you don't understand.
She's coming on to YouTube?
No, yeah, on YouTube.
April.
How exciting is that?
Oh,
so
I have my April outfit.
Oh no.
Danny's got, oh damn. April, get in here. You don't have to show your face. Get in here. You know how to get in here, Chow Chu. You can do it. You can come up on here, right? I don't think we've ever had 5. Well, yeah, we have had 5 people on the stage before. April, come in. Do the Dean email thing.
I cannot say that we have.
Stacey, that's a look.
5 people.
This is how April
is that April?
Come on.
Is that April?
So here's what's going to happen. I am going to be live tomorrow morning, roughly around 10 a.m. Eastern. The reason it's not set is for those of you who don't know. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, and so we are fighting that as a family. It was like that unexpected. Remember the Friday night she turned yellow? It's been some tough times in my family, but we're all pulling together, and we've got a treatment plan going and all of that. So, and my sister's Chris has been into it. But earlier this week, April hooked up with me, and we just spent like 2 hours in a Zoom room working on A Witch Comes to Pemberley. And so we're going to be co-writing that this weekend. So tomorrow morning, I will catch everyone up, make a couple of chapters, and then she'll come in. Y'all are freaking me out a little bit. Okay, fine. I'll join too.
Well,
she'll come in, and you guys are going to get to see us live, like dissect chapters. And let me tell you something. There are not many people in this world who have the editing chops of Miss. Well, I actually know that she's April Floyd, because I know her like that. But
hey, April.
Yeah, April is her middle name. So I don't know if she'll get in. Oh, Rachel says that sounds like fun. But the downside is that with everything going on in my family, and as some of you can understand who have been through this, April's here.
Ooh.
Oh, April, are you okay with your camera being on, or you want to turn your camera off?
Join me in the dark side, April.
Yeah.
You're beautiful, April.
I think you're gorgeous. I think you should just be fine.
And I'm getting hot.
Well, the piece of
I turned up the heat in the house, so very low now.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the stage for the very first time on our premiere live stream on Friday nights, the incomparable, the editable April. Live stream on Friday nights. All right, April, you're gonna have to do me a favor and turn the speaker to your. Actually, you probably need to turn your echo thing off so that it doesn't hear what's happening on your
YouTube.
Your YouTube. Here we go. Let's try it again. Here we go, April. Hi, April.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't get the chance to blur my background or my face to be on here, so I didn't get that figured out that fast. So I'm gonna do a little Elizabeth. Catch me if you can.
Oh!
Did she just flash herself?
She did.
I looked away for half of a second. She said, "Catch it, you can." Come on, catch it, you can.
I was not prepared this evening, so.
Right. And so as everyone knows and my team has known, I've been a little unreliable lately. So I might schedule something, but then that ends up being something that flares up, or something goes on with my mom's health, or if something just hits me and I'm teary. So this weekend but I'm working around that. Okay. Like, cause we all been through this. How many people in this chat have had an ill parent, or worse, lost a parent, or an ill family member, and you still had to get your work done?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's a thing. Thank you, StreamYard, for thumbing that up. But I know I have your guys' support, and you will understand that I have to be a little catch me as you can. So we're roughly 10 a.m., roughly 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and then we'll go from there on what the Sunday sessions are. Now, if you want to know when I'm going live, without a doubt, what can they do, Stacey or Ikello?
I'll tell you what you can do. You can hit that notification bell, because let me tell you this little secret. YouTube likes to YouTube, and sometimes they don't show you the thing that you are subscribed to. So the best way for you to get that subscription, our subscription, is to hit the notification bell, and you will know every whimsical moment that Elizabeth decides that she wants to write. And April, And you'll have both of them. I mean, it's going to be great. So it could be 7, but it could be 7:30. Heck, I'm sorry, not 7. It could be 10. I'm thinking my time.
No, it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock in the morning for Pacific time. So.
Yes. It could be 10. It could be 10:30. It could be 9:30. Okay, depending on how it works. So do me a favor, hit the notification bell, please, and like this video right now so that we can get this out to as many people so they can see that they need to hit the notification bell too, so that they can catch Elizabeth. Otherwise, they probably won't know. So go ahead on, hit the like button right now. If you haven't subscribed, do that too.
So I'm looking forward to it. You guys are going to make my weekend. It is helping me to get back to normal. And we're going to get out of here because we're going to be working this weekend with Raptor Right Plus. So we won't be working with YFD, but you have the best YFD experts in the house tonight. And there's just one little thing that I need to say.
Hey,
well, here, while we have April then. April, what was it like co-writing earlier this week with AI?
It was like going back in time, the things that we used to do. And Elizabeth was so good. Her mojo, she still has it. She never lost it. This book is going to be so amazing. And I'm so happy that we're together again working on something. So, yeah.
I loved that just like when I co-wrote, oh gosh, how long ago was it, Stacey? Last summer? Not this past summer, but the summer before that, because it was before.
2 summers ago.
It was last summer.
It was before. Was it
not this past summer, but the summer before. Summer 2024.
Oh god, there's time's a construct. Probably.
So the cool thing about co-writing with AI is that as April and I worked together, did either of us care about changing a line?
No. And the things that I picked out, it was funny because we work together so well, but Elizabeth's storytelling prowess has increased since before. And the things that she brought out were just amazing. I'm seriously, this is going to be the most loved, most read Jaff ever in the history of Jaff. I don't care what anybody says. It's amazing. And we were just picking at little lines here and there. Whereas before we would go through whole paragraphs and, we got to slash this, we got to slash that.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. And we did it in Raptor Right.
We did about 8,000 words in about an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Well, what are y'all doing? Did y'all are y'all doing easy peasy or something?
No. I have kind of of course I have modified new prompting. Sorry.
You caught Mel off guard. She must have been drinking or something because she was coughing off of that one.
Mel, don't kill me, but I might have a manuscript 1 and then a manuscript 2 after a mop session working act by act.
Ooh.
Which brings me to the other thing I wanted to say. You guys do not know that YFD would not exist without Mel. Like, YFD is, yes, built off of the Easy Peasy book machine and everything like that, but I cannot tell you how many innovations this woman has brought to. Like, she single-handedly is why we are able to do 40 chapters. So y'all remember when YFD came out with 20 chapters? And I said, we'll get to it because I've had so much on my plate. Mel has been able to come in and fill this void in the FFA that has been so helpful. She innovates prompting. Yes, sometimes her and I do butt heads on the prompting. Like that's just that happens. But we have a good working relationship that we may be able to DM each other on some language levels we don't use with other people. But it's cool. It's cool. But she innovated the summarization, some of the prompting and stuff, the mechanics on the back end. She has
many blueprints.
She has kept 98% of the blueprints of YFD Mel did. And she keeps Joe following a to-do list.
She's amazing. Mel is amazing.
You can't see it, but I'm blushing.
So lucky to have her. If you guys could see the iteration from the start to where we are now in the time frame, it's unheard of. It's crazy. The people in the FFA on the employee side, the people who bring you the magic work so hard. I can't even tell you how hard it is they work. You guys see it when you use the product, but just to watch it from the beginning to where we are now, it blows my mind. And Mel is amazing in that spot.
Thank
And I
you.
know we have alpha users in the chat, and
Yes.
those of us who have been like using it like right with the new features, all of us have like Mel in our DMs, like right at the top. I'm like, what's this? Mel, what do I do?
She has
We all
answered
know.
all of the customer support, and like you've really been the MVP. I have to say, the most valuable player on YFD. YFD wouldn't happen without you, Mel. There's just no way it would have gotten over the finish line. So thank you, and the whole industry owes a debt of gratitude to you. So, and you'll be stuck with her because she is one of the mothers of YFD. So she's not going anywhere.
And before we let you go, Elizabeth, why are we talking about YFD today?
I don't know.
Boot camp is
Oh,
open for 100 people.
No. Wow.
Y'all don't understand how my brain has not been functioning the way it should. Like, truthfully, it has been like I've been 5 minutes late to meetings. I've been like
softball.
I know, and that just
That was the most beautiful alley-oop I have ever seen in my life. She should have been able to grab that ball and dunk that thing so hard.
But now you guys see, like, everybody, I have to tell you, everybody in the FFA, we are such a family. And there's been quite a bit of loss in the FFA family. Like, we've been hit hard in the last 2 months. Some members have lost loved ones. Another founder has a death in the family as well right now. And the family, though, you all have been taking such good care of me. You have been messaging me. You have been warning me. You have been telling me, like, take care of you. This is harder than you think. I've been going through this thinking, like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. And I just missed that softball. And you guys have seen me. You know I don't usually miss something like that. But the brain just... She's at 60% right now.
All right. Well, then, in that case, Stacey...
Why are we talking about YFD?
Elizabeth, why are we talking about YFD?
Oh, yeah, Stacey, you're just not going to get her to do it.
I got it.
Just get it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so we have boot camp open again. So that $300 boot camp is open again. And YFD now goes chapter by chapter. So there is no excuses for you not to get books done this October that can start publishing next month. Now, why next month? When do royalties for next month go to everybody's bank account?
In December.
January.
Oh, January.
January 2026. So you guys, $300 boot camp, and you get enough tokens to write 2-3 books, I think it is, depending on if you go chapter by chapter, etc.
Right before the holiday season?
Right before the holiday season, but don't do holiday. You don't necessarily have to do holiday books with it, but you can get a jump start on 2026. Now is the time to get a jump start on your 2026 publication. I'm going to be doing that over the weekend with April, so you guys will be able to be there. And this is probably the last time we are going to be offering the boot camp as you see it like this. So the future iterations of this are going to be very genre specific. And it's really going to be all about joining the accelerator. I'm just not going to mince words here. Like we have some very big things cooking in the kitchen. Some people that we've talked about in the past are back, in our inboxes. We've got Author Nation coming up in 2 weeks. We have a press that's doing some amazing things coming forward. We did 18 books in the last 60 days. 18, just our little team, okay? I don't even know how many FFA books total, if we ask the FFA how many books that they've gone through. Mel, how many projects are on YFD right now? 1,900?
Yeah, somewhere between 1,800 and 1,900. Last time I looked, it was definitely over 1,800.
Yeah.
There are less than 200 people in the FFA.
There's less than 300 people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
200. Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's less than 300. My bad. But that's crazy that we have that many. Wow. And
that is since YFD came out in at the end of June. But I would say it really didn't get like mass adoption and stable until the end of July. It was still definitely like not even alpha in June, July, I don't think. Yeah. So I would say really August, September, not even halfway up. So we'll say 3 months. It's like 600 to 700 stories a month on average, but it's even more than that because we just see projects being run. People are finishing books in hours and then they have a completed draft to go and edit. Go ahead, Mel. You can say more to this.
Oh, no, you're doing a great job. I think that's perfect. We do have so many projects and we have so many people actually completing drafts, which is fantastic. Very excited.
So if you've completed a draft in YFD, let us know in the comments. Give us a like on this video, and then check out me in April this weekend. Catch us if you can. We're going to bow out and let the queens of YFD and the king of prompting, Ikello himself, take over the live, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Do me a favor, everybody. Hit your notification bell so that you can be informed about when Elizabeth decides that she wants to go live. She is a whimsical person. She's like a fairy. So therefore, you need to make sure that in order to catch a light of that glimmering fairy going off into the distance, that you hit the notification bell so that you can be informed. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. And April, welcome to the party.
Thank you, Kelly.
Have a good day, y'all.
It's been fun.
All right. Now, let's get to some business. Do me a favor, everybody. Hit the links in the below. If you want to get your hands on the new boot camp, go ahead on and click on over to the Future Fiction Academy, where we have all of the standalone classes, all of the boot camps, all of the accelerators just for you. Okay. Go ahead on and click that link below.
And we're going to look at YFD today. But what I love about the boot camp is Elizabeth said there's enough to do about 2 good sized full novels. I think 20 to 30 chapters, I think, depending on, if you go chapter by chapter, etc. But we have instructions, video instructions that walks you through a project. And there's a preloaded project. So to kind of test it out, you don't need to use one of your dino tokens, anything like that. You get a free project already loaded in, so you can walk along with Elizabeth, do your project. It is already loaded to do chapter by chapter, so you can choose however you want to do it, walk through it. And so you'll be very comfortable in the system. And we also have a free, this is my favorite part of YFD, a free 5-chapter short story, essentially, that you can do in YFD. It uses the cheapy models, so it's not like the greatest writing, but that way you can always, if you take a break from YFD and come back, you can always just kind of reacquaint yourself with the system, and you don't have to worry about, again, using one of your dino tokens. Do a short story, crank it out. We've had plenty of people that actually, edit those up, put them up for sale, smush a couple of them together, put it up as a collection. But that way you never have to worry about, quote unquote, wasting a dino token because you weren't familiar with the system. We have plenty of ways for you to be familiar with the system without using a dino token. So you never have to worry about that.
That's pretty exciting, actually. Ease of use and accessibility. That is probably one of the biggest parts of YFD that I really love, is that it may seem like it's complicated, but we give you a whole lesson inside of the boot camp, helping you get through it step by friggin' step. Okay. So know that it may feel a little daunting when you see it today, but we have step-by-step instructions. And if you sign up, you can get access to our Discord and get in there and ask us questions if you really, really need to. Am I wrong?
Mel, yes, absolutely. So Mel, what I would like to do is there are a ton of new blueprints in there. And I would either you can share your screen or I can share my screen. Either way is fine. But I like to go through and check out some of them, because the blueprints are the backbone of how YFD really creates your story. And how we fill out the blueprints is genre specific, although you can make it, we have so many different options. And I think the more people understand blueprints and what's available, I think would really help. Oh, yay, Mel. Look at these. Look how pretty it is. Take us away,
Oh,
Lynn.
the choosing your genre section. I love this.
Yes.
Are these some updates, Mel?
There's always new blueprints.
Is she muted?
Oh, we can't hear you, Mel, if you're...
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. Yes. So here we are on the dashboard. When you first log into your first
That
draft,
was
you have
awesome.
the dashboard, right? So when you're looking at the blueprints, you can go to browse blueprints, and we have them all sorted by genre currently. So let's look at romance, because romance, we've had a lot of new blueprints coming out. So these are all sorted by the different models at the moment. And our code names for the models are charming, harmonic, polished, prismatic, rogue, and untamed. And we have a nice simple way to look those up if you need it. On the browse blueprints, you can click on view blueprint previews, and that's going to take you over to our Notion page where we have samples for 90% of these, because there are still some that I actually need to go do new samples for. But it's organized a little bit differently on the blueprint samples page. Here it's organized according to the root blueprint. So all of the charming, all of the harmonics, all of the different versions that are available for the different blueprints are combined inside of one. So if we look at Emerald Crown Codex, which is our epic high fantasy blueprint, you can see that it's currently available on Untamed and Charming. So when you go back to browse blueprints, you just click on that one, whichever one you want, and it'll take you right through there. But this is an easy way to see what's available per blueprint instead of per model, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yep. And then there's a little chart in the upper left-hand corner there that tells you what charming is and what, yeah, right there, and what harmonic is. I always forget.
Yeah. So this is a handy little chart, and we keep it updated when we have new things going on. All of the Sonnet ones right now are using 4.5. It's been on fire this week, the last couple of weeks. I think there was like a little bit of a hiccup with Sonnet 4.5, but everything that I've been running with it has been top notch. So very good stuff. Gemini Pro does great, especially with the contemporary type stories. Untamed is excellent if you're looking for something that does a little bit more risque, so to speak, if you want to jot down that road. We do have Rogue is available now in Open Canvas. So we've got one Rogue blueprint, which uses Grok 4, and that one is in the Open Canvas, and there it is right here. So this one has all of our different versions available. And I need to add Prismatic on there because it's missing for some reason. But all of the different models are available with Open Canvas. So if you see one that you want to use, but it's not available in the blueprint you want to use, or in the subgenre rather, you can use Open Canvas, and that one is set up to still guide you through everything. So let's see. Some of the new ones that we've added recently, we have Whiskey and Lace, which is a contemporary Western romance blueprint. Romantic suspense blueprint, Crimson Cipher. Let's see, Frosted Mistletoe Blaze, right in time for the holidays. That one is a spicy holiday romance blueprint. And let's see, Gaslight Gambit is newer. That's historical thriller. And I think those are the majority of the newer ones. I've got a couple other ones in development. So we'll be releasing those over the next time period near time period, but we'll go from there.
Okay, Mel, a question I get a lot.
Yes.
So I'm writing a cozy fantasy right now, but it also has like mystery elements. So maybe I want to kind of steal some of the cozy mystery stuff from that blueprint. How can I see both blueprints?
So right now, what you can do is you can look at the sample worksheet inside. The sample worksheet has all of the elements that we're using in the current blueprint, but it is a filled in worksheet. It's not the template. But that said, if you were going to do a cozy fantasy with some mystery elements, you might actually be more interested in looking at Pumpkin Hex Puzzle, which is our paranormal cozy mystery blueprint. That one might get you more towards what you're looking for in terms of those possibly fantasy elements. It depends on what kind of cozy setting you're going for. But really, they're all kind of flexible. We don't currently have a way to see all of the template worksheet for each one. It's just the completed worksheet templates. So,
but you can see the completed one and
you
just
can see the completed ones. Yep.
okay. But what if I write, tentacle, romance, noir, epic, something that is absolutely not in here? Am I just out of luck, or what can I do in that case?
So that's a good question. Let's think. So if you're writing something that's super complex in terms of the different genres, your best bet is probably to go with Open Canvas and guide Open Canvas through the whole development process. So one of the things that I've added recently to the Open Canvas blueprint is a subgenre elements, and that's pretty flexible. So if you tell it, hey, this is a combination of things, and so we need elements from a bunch of different things. So we need to pull the key elements from all of these different subgenres and put them together so that we can get enough of a feel for what we want in this story. So actually, let's go into here and take a look at that, because let's see, genre neutral. Here we go. So let's say we want to do something with charming, and we create a project with charming, and we want to do a test. Let's do this. We'll do 10 chapters for now, and we'll leave it at 4-act structure. And then this is going to let us get into look at the everything about it. So you do have to activate the project to get fully into the worksheet. And you can see the full worksheet once you've activated the project, but I'm going to show you what that looks like. So part of our new chapter by chapter feature is in here too. So you would enable enhanced chapter generation. It is an additional half Dino token, but that gives you access for the whole project to go chapter by chapter, which is a great feature. So we'll go into the story dossier worksheet, and we will do a blank template. And so now this gives you all of the different sections that are involved in creating the worksheet. And this subgenre elements and devices is really what I was talking about. So if you know that you have a lot of different things that you want to incorporate, you would just use the magic wand, the AI enhancer, and say, what were all of those things that you said?
Tentacle, noir, epic, or epic magic. I forget.
Epic
fantasy.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
With sword and sorcery.
There we go.
I need elements for all of these subgenres so that we can craft the story of our dreams. So, hypothetically, this is going to work. I'm not sure, but we're going to try it. Can you give me a template that we can work on when we have more of the story fleshed out? Let's see what it does, because I don't know what it's going to do. Feeling like we're...
But this was obviously made up. But if it's something that was a little more mainstream, but we don't have a blueprint for, you can easily just put it in here and it would add the subgenre elements.
Exactly.
Mel, what do you mean you don't know what you you should know it all?
Well, I mean, I know in theory what's going to happen. It's going to do exactly what I wanted it to do, of course.
That's awesome.
So it's got some noir elements. It's got some epic fantasy elements. It's got some sword and sorcery elements. And it's even got some tentacle elements. So, this is pretty cool.
What, tentacle? Oh.
Yeah. Tentacle was the first thing Stacey said. So we're getting some Eldritch horror going on, which is awesome. I'm here for Eldritch horror.
Okay. Okay.
So after we do that, though, we're going to click the little check mark here. We don't actually currently have a way to rename the sections. That's on my list to get for Joseph. But subgenre kind of works for this one because it's a kit and caboodle kind of thing. So yes, the tentacle elements are leaning more into the fantasy side of things than into, say, some of the more, I'm going to use this word again, risque elements. Yes, yes, I see that corn cob, Jen. That's exactly what I was thinking too. But I don't think we're going there with charming. But I'm here for Eldritch Horror. I think that's going to be fun. So actually, why don't we see what we can develop with this? So this is where you start. I mean, unless you don't want to, because I kind of.
No, I'd love to see this in action.
So would I. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we're gonna save this. So every time you use the magic wand, you always want to hit the little blue check mark, white check mark, and then that loads it into the preview, which creates it as part of the worksheet. So then we'll save the worksheet. We're going to go back to the project. And because my memory is Swiss cheese these days, we're going to go into the logs and get that whole list of things that we just told it from here in our prompt so that we know what we're asking for. So we're going to take this little bit here, and then we're going to go into the story pitch. And now we're going to use from your idea. We're just going to pop that right in there. Let's see. We'll take this part out. Do we want this to lean into the humor side of things, like humor horror? Humorous horror fantasy?
Yeah, I think that'd be.
I think we're going for a comedic horror, eldritch horror fantasy. There we go. Let's see what it gives us. Because this is the fun part about YFD, is that you can come in here and you can play with all of these different boxes and talk to it like you would with a normal chat and see what you get. Because you can't really break it. And if you do somehow manage to break it, I'll fix it for you. So don't worry about breaking things. If you end up with something completely wild that you can't use, just let me know. We'll take care of it. We'll get you sorted out so that everything is good to go. But I think we're going to get something interesting with this.
We're definitely going to get something from this.
Magic is cheap. Life is cheaper. And the tentacles are closing in. Okay. In the rain-slicked, gaslit city of Chester, where gargoyles whisper and magic is just another vice, down-and-out private investigator Corbin Devereaux takes a case that smells worse than last week's goblin moonshine. Nice. A beautiful high society sorceress hires him to find her missing brother, allegedly brainwashed by a progressive wellness cult. But as Corbin starts exploring the city's shadowy areas, I like how it's got everything in quotes, he finds more than just chanting weirdos. This is an epic conspiracy run by a former advertiser who plans to use a powerful crystal and his followers as psychic fiber to tear a hole in reality. With the city guard hamstrung by politics and unable to get a warrant, Corbin and his dwarven warrior partner are the only ones who can stop a ritual tied to ancient cosmic cycles. They must rescue the cult's prisoners and prevent a greater horror from being summoned, all while trying to avoid taking the blame for the string of eldritch-tinged murders piling up.
Yes. I'm sorry, Mel. This is getting thrown onto the to-be-written pile. This is
right?
awesome.
I agree. That's the problem. I keep running into that. Yeah, the quotes on everything is awesome. Yeah.
It's like we're all addicts or something. Addicts for story. You know what I mean?
It's
like if it hits in your brain, if it tickles some part of your brain, my goodness, it's ridiculous.
Agreed.
And now you got to do this story.
Right, Stacey? I'm leaving this one to you because I came up with a Regency earlier. That now I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this one because I like the idea so much.
Jay said he won't read a book unless there's something smells of ozone.
I'm sure we'll get some ozone in here somewhere.
Yep.
All right. So
I need my ozone.
Yes. All right. So then we'll go back to the story dossier worksheet. Now, here's the thing. Because we went into the story dossier worksheet and we added that subgenre, we enhanced the subgenre elements. We don't want to use from story pitch because what that'll do is it'll overwrite your worksheet with a blank template. So instead, what we're going to do is go back into the one that we already started working on, and we're going to edit that one. And now we can use the AI cascade, which will do essentially the same thing as the story pitch feature. You can just go through and let it run. But what I like to do, because I am an addict and I have spent a little bit of time with this thing, my preference is usually to lock certain sections, especially like the Act 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like to lock those so that they don't run in the first batch of the AI cascade. And so I'll let the outline overview is fine, plot development is fine. And this is going to give us a really solid starting point so that we can make sure that everything looks good before we start generating the outline. But also, I have discovered since we released chapter by chapter that I really like doing one act at a time. So I will let it develop one act.
Oh, that's
Go work on the chapter.
brilliant.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
Exactly, right?
I'm sorry. I hate to just like interrupt you like that, but interrupt your flow. But did y'all hear what she just said? Did you hear what she just said? Because she has the ability now to go chapter by chapter, she actually prefers doing it act by act. It does feel like you have like part of the story just in the palm of your hand. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
And you
Yes.
can, I know you're working on some coursework for this, but almost closer to pantsing now.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh,
So there is,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure that you could go even further than I was comfortable going, because I had honestly a really hard time deleting huge chunks of the outline, or not even the outline, the whole worksheet. I deleted huge chunks of the worksheet to test the pantsing ability of this thing. It is doing a fantastic job. And I have another story to write because I'm enjoying the story that's coming out of the pantsing project. It's so good. And it's just like, okay. So, and that one is completely freeform, and it's blowing my mind a little bit because there's part of me that's like, I feel like I need a seatbelt here. Because, yeah. But yeah, going chapter by chapter, act by act has really been working for me as a writer, because my whole writing life, I have always kind of done tentpole plotting where I've got the big main turning points and stuff. And then as I'm writing, I develop, and then I end up replotting over and over and over, because everything ripples out, right? Every change you make has to ripple through the rest of the story. So it's easier and more efficient to be able to go one act at a time and just edit those chapters as I go, instead of trying to redo the whole thing every time I do a chapter.
My pre-AI days, I called myself a plantser because I could plot, but only 3 to 5, 6 chapters ahead. My brain never wanted to go that far out, or it just the outline got thinner and thinner and thinner. I would have to refill it out or kind of replot, same as you, as soon as I would write it, and then the outline would kind of come together in my head.
Exactly. Yeah. See, Sue, it is actually a different story. So the one that we've been working on in the Write With Me, the urban fantasy romantasy thing, that is definitely getting finished because I'm addicted to that one too. I'm invested and I want to see it finished. But this is a new one. This is one that you guys haven't seen yet because I've been testing it. This is a fae werewolf shifter romantasy thing, and I'm liking it.
At some point, we are going to have to like lock you out of your credits, Mel.
I know, because I actually have to finish some of these things and like publish them and everything, but maybe one day. I'm getting there.
Yeah,
but there's so much to do.
Coffee Needed said it's its own vice for sure. Yeah, but that's what I like about your first draft. Like it's so much easier to at least get to the first draft stage.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
Before I would be at the halfway finished or quarter finished or some version of some amount done, or just some amount of a first draft done. Now at least I have first drafts done, and now I need to edit, or I could send it out for editing, depending on my budgets.
Yep. And that's the challenging part because, yes, you're in good
Automatic.
company, Dan. My thing has
It-
always been I
Yeah.
have stories done, but I have to edit them. And I think going chapter by chapter helps a lot because I'm actually doing the first pass editing as I go.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that does make sense. And then when you go back, and do your what is really your initial edit, right? Because you're
Or might
doing
just
the
be a
editing as
line
you're going.
edit.
It's really more like that's slick. That's slick. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your hands on your first draft, do me a favor. Click the links below because my goodness, this is some good stuff. And it's the smartest thing that I find about your first draft is the fact that it is so malleable. You can do anything you want with it. You can do it chapter by chapter, act by act. You can do the whole thing all at once. Just know that if you're going to do that, that your worksheet, is that what we call it? A worksheet?
It is.
Okay. The worksheet is all right. You have to validate your worksheet.
Yes.
You have to, if you're going to run everything all at once, right? You have to have all your ducks in a row, or else it may, and I do mean may, spin out of control.
So, one thing I've learned with the pantsing experiment is that it's even more malleable than I realized, than I thought it could be. It's really impressive what it can do. So what I did in my experiment was I cut everything out except for the authorial style and voice section and the project overview. And I did leave the romantasy elements and devices in because I wanted to make sure to get those elements into the story. But everything else I cut. No world building, no character roster. No, I apologize. I did have character roster, but it was the minimal list that
Main
you get from the story
characters.
pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I deleted everything from the character roster and just gave it that small list of characters and said add additional characters as needed. And then everything else I deleted, all of the sections. And I ran it, and the first chapter, it was amazing. And I was like, okay, I'm loving this. And then I did the second chapter, and the second chapter was great. And then I did the third chapter. And then I was like, oh, well, now I need to go back in and add a little bit of world building because there's this element that it sparked a thought with the chapter 3 reveal. I was like, I got to add this in. And so added that in and then regenerated chapter 3, and there it was. It was perfect. And I was like, I barely have to edit this. So, it's amazing.
Don't you love it when you barely have to edit something?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I liked Ion so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like it would spit some stuff out and go, oh hell, what do I got to do?
Right.
It's that good. But go ahead.
Yeah. So
I love watching you, Mel, because if you get the YFD boot camp, you'll see Elizabeth and me a little bit. I kind of do the updates, but you'll see us go beginning to end and how kind of the workflow of YFD works. But then when we watch you or even Elizabeth on one of these or some of the other Gen BB or a lot of the people working with these, there are so many ways, the software is really so flexible about how you can jump around and make it your own. And if you do it this way and use so many different ways to use it, it's like crazy pants.
It is. There are so many ways to use it. And I am really super, super impressed with the product that we came up with the software is just amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Mel, would you mind taking 1 second and just showing where they can upload the Story Bible?
So this is a little bit one of those things where if you have a Story Bible and it's all in one document, you can go back to project, and as long as it's marked down in a markdown file, you can try importing the worksheet. But you really need to make sure that you have it in snake case formatting so that it actually picks up the sections structure properly. If you don't want to go to all that trouble in reformatting your story Bible, my recommendation would be to add whatever section you feel is needed in here, or just add a blank section and call it story_Bible and create the section. And then just, you can either paste everything into this new section, or you can use the AI cascade to feed it into your story, into your worksheet, and it'll populate everything that it needs to. And if you wanted to, I bet you this will work. You could say brackets, because brackets tell the prompting, the AI, what to change. You can change it so that you can put something like add any other vital information from the story Bible here. And then I would, save that and then move this up. So you can move these different sections by hovering over the little hamburger looking menu here, and it turns into a grippy hand. And then you can move that up and put it in here somewhere. And then as you're going through your AI cascade, which I feel like we didn't get everything here. We didn't, it stopped. Okay, that's fine. We'll fix that. But as you're going through the AI cascade, you just put, here is the story Bible for my story. Use this information to fill in the fields in the sections. Something along those lines. And then literally just paste your story Bible below that and uncheck the story pitch box and start. And then it should fill in everything that it needs to in the world building and so on and so forth. And anything that it doesn't have a home for, it should put in the story Bible, which is kind of why I would probably put the story Bible a little bit lower down, just so that it's the last section that it does. Because when you do the AI cascade, it is going to go linearly from top to bottom through the sections. Does that kind of answer your question, Jay? Or did I kind of info dump on you?
That wasn't an
There's a
info
couple
dump.
second delay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That wasn't an info dump. And remember, this is an infinitely replayable adventure.
True.
So do not. This is the thing I've learned about YouTube, Mel. Be as dense as you need to be. They can always go back and rewatch it step by step.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay, perfect.
And
so
less
let's
is more.
Elizabeth Ann West put in a bunch of capital letters. Please tell them to keep the story Bible reasonable in length.
Yep. So we have made some adjustments to the prompting in the background. So there's not a strict token limit, word count limit, but we do recommend that you keep your worksheets in the 20,000 range in terms of word count. That is what we've found, is that you can put all the information in the world in there, but it's either going to overwhelm the AI or it's just not going to get used. It's going to get ignored. So you want the vital information in there. Yes, there will be if you all use this. Fair.
I don't see Dale in the chat, so not to call anybody out in particular, Dale, but story Bible should not be longer than the book itself, Dale.
Correct. Yes. So, but yeah, if you've got a story Bible and you want to bring that information in, totally use you can do it section by section if you're happier with that, or you can use the AI cascade. Just pop that stuff in there and let it fill in the fields that are already in the worksheet, because that's going to be a big part of the information. And then anything else that's vital to the story, you can include that too. Just be aware that it may get ignored anyway by the AI, because AIs do the AI thing.
So you could use the story Bible, or reasonable story Bible, to ask it to fill in the sections, and then remove the whole story Bible because it's in the other spots.
Exactly. Yep. And that's the best part about if you use the AI cascade or the magic wand and you use the global enhancement instructions. If you paste your story Bible right in there, it's going to use that as the context for filling in all of those sections in the worksheet. Totally agree with you, Jay. When I make an overly long Bible, even I ignore half of it. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. And just in general, less is more. The longer it is, the more chance you have just as a human to have contradictions in there. And what happens when the AI sees contradictions? It decides which one's correct or what it's going to follow or if it's going to follow anything at all. And that's when you start seeing it mess up. It's because it saw conflicting information up in your dossier or
Yes.
Yeah.
Which actually, that's a nice segue into something else. If we want to pop over back to our blueprint sample page, I've added the prompting for the Claude, what I developed in Claude, and I've used it in Claude, but I've also used it in Gemini without any problems. But you can use this as a prompt to evaluate your worksheet before you run it. So if you export your worksheet and then you get either your chat or like I'm using Typing Mind, and I put a worksheet in here and I set up my stuff with the prompt and I asked it to do it and it gave me a review of the worksheet and it just went through all of these different sections to evaluate how strong the worksheet is and if there's anything specifically that is missing or needs enhancement or if it needs to do something else. Usually Claude will give me a full review, like a summary review of everything. So yeah. But
and that's a great point, Jay. The author needs to know everything or might need to know everything, not the reader and not the AI.
Yeah.
I've seen Elizabeth in her boot camp, book camp was like, or I don't know, maybe it was when at some point she was like doing family lineages and all that. And the AI doesn't necessarily need to know all that. She needed to know all that in order to get it straight in her head. I had full maps and needed like street names and all that. The AI doesn't need to know that if it's not applicable, but I needed to have it straight in my head. So, yep, everything you need to know does not need to be in that blueprint. Excellent point. And that's not just for your first draft, that's for AI prompting in general.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that advertising fool, but hey, ladies and gentlemen, you have to click the links below to get your hands on your first draft. If you are not already involved with this, you are about to have your mind blown. You can actually have an entire book, first draft, pop out in less than 2 hours. Or you could go chapter by chapter with your first draft and completely mold the story the way that you want. Okay, hey, here's one. If you're using your first drafts, if you're doing this chapter by chapter, is it possible to be minimalistic on your blueprint since you're pantsing?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, you can do as much or as little information as you like, to be honest. I recommend spending more time in the author style and voice, the writer's style section, writing style section, because there are certain things in there that help keep it on track, get it starting in media res instead of miles of introspection and navel gazing right off the bat. So those sections kind of
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
What I was gonna say is I helped run another school called your 1111 Media Creator Academy. If you want to get your hands on that, there are links in the description below for that too. We teach people how to do film and stuff like that. But guess what, Mel? Guess one of the main things that we teach.
What do you teach?
One of the main things we teach is to start in the middle of the friggin' scene.
Yes.
And guess what media res is, ladies and gentlemen? It's starting in the middle of the action. That's actually what it means.
Yep.
It actually means media res actually means to start in the middle of the action. So I love that. That is such a I'm sorry, but that is such a good piece of advice. The media res thing, the moment that someone brought that up, it's probably Elizabeth. It's always Elizabeth. Um, they brought that up. It was absolutely a revelation to me, because you could start in the middle of the scene and I like starting in the middle of scenes. I don't know about you. It's one of my favorite ways to do it. I want people to figure out, well, how the hell they even get into this situation. It's one of my favorite ways to have books start. Am I right? How about you, Stacey?
Yep, 100%.
It's a good scene built well. It's almost sad to start the scene at where the scene should actually start, because all of the good stuff needs to happen right when you want a page turner. You want to flip that page. You flip it. And in order for that to happen, you have to hook them almost immediately. There are several techniques, but I think that one of the best techniques is to actually start in media res, in the middle of the action. Elizabeth says, I didn't coin the phrase or anything. It's an established literary critique term. Who knew all those classes in literature, literary analysis would pay off? And this is another thing that we like to talk about. If you do not know your craft, if you can't craft correctly, then your story kind of gets flat and stuff like that. You don't know to do things like media res and all of that stuff. So do me a favor, y'all. Click the links below. Learn all about how to do all of this stuff with your first draft. Okay, go ahead, Stacey.
One thing I would like to point out about chapter by chapter is it's not an all or nothing. Like one thing I really like, and I've mentioned, like, I was a planter, or some people like to get the story started, make sure like they really get the point of view like if they have multiple point of views, they want to go through and really edit up the different point of chapters for different point of views. But maybe once they're 6, 7, 8, halfway through the book, they're like, the AI's really got this. I'm barely editing at this point, or it's got it enough. I'm bored of this. I can go wash some dishes and let it finish up on its own, and then I can edit everything. It's good enough at this point, or it's going on its own well enough. You can switch it to then just finish the rest of the chapters, so you don't have to keep going chapter by chapter. You can then switch. So you only have to go chapter by chapter as much as you want. Like I said, if you just want to make sure all the point of view characters are really set in stone, or you've edited them up properly, or just until you really got a feel for the story and you've mapped out the entire outline. And then you can just go do your dishes, just like I think Jay said that somewhere. Yeah, set it to run, did the dishwasher and some laundries, and after 2 hours had clean clothes, dishes, and a first draft.
Yes. There's no bigger joy in my life than multitasking in that kind of way. Yeah. Because I run a couple of YouTube channels and part of another school and all of this stuff. I am busy. And if I have the opportunity to think on a story while I'm walking the dog really well and kind of get an idea in my head, and then I can walk back and maybe even dictate something into ChatGPT or something like that, and really get the story started and rolling and everything. Oh my goodness, it's like having on a stick that whole idea of multitasking at that level. I mean, it's a whole novel that you're drafting if you're doing it right.
I'm sorry, that first line, the gargoyle stank of whetstone and bad news.
Ew.
I skimmed the first little bit here because I was like, I'm definitely getting the noir vibe and I like it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Project to you.
that is interesting.
Female human, not as well. This is pretty good. Got some good dialogue in there.
Yeah.
Which model did you choose?
Charming. So Sonnet.
Sonnet
4.5. Yep. So
Curious
this is
where the
great
next
because
ones are going to come pop in.
yeah. So this I generated just the first act because I wanted to get us the first chapter so we could look at it and see what the generate next chapter feature looks like and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, where's the ozone on the gargoyle? True. There is no ozone yet, but there might be some later. So you can
Oh,
then, click the
One
edit.
can only hope.
One can only hope. Come in here, you do your editing, make your changes. Silken pillow, 3rd floor, room 12. Your tribute. Oh, it's a whiskey tribute. Cool. Like it.
There's a hole in the ozone layer of this story.
Yep. So let's see. Okay, so then if you make your changes and then you save it, it's going to re-summarize it, and then you'll be ready to go on to the next chapter. And then you hit next chapter, and that's it. It runs the next chapter, and then you can edit it, carry on.
Mel, why didn't you sound very confident in that? You was like, next chapter? What was that about? Is there something weird on the screen right now?
No.
Oh no, we have a Mrs. Chen.
Yay! Not a Dr. Chen, but a Mrs. Chen.
Mrs. Chen, you can drink. There's something.
I did tell y'all my dentist's name is actually Dr. Chen, didn't I? Yeah. Dr. Chen was all up in my mouth today.
She must still
be in med school. Hasn't earned the doctor PhD or the.
I know hasn't got it yet, but sure working her way towards his way towards it.
So let's just generate chapter 2 just to see how that rolls, because I like to show this off a little bit. One other thing before we move over, you can look at the chapter tree and you'll be able to see the things here. We have some ideas about maybe changing this a little bit so that instead of the first part of the chapter, it gives you the metadata for the chapter, but that's a future in development feature.
Future in development feature.
Yep, a future feature.
I was going to say.
And then you can toggle and look at your summary. You can actually edit your summaries now too. So if
future fiction feature.
Yep. If you see that there is something off with the feature with the summary, you can come into the summary and tweak it and make sure that everything looks good. And then when you save it again, it'll update it, and then you're good to go. And so let's generate the next chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that you can generate the summary, just because like in that summary, there was a bunch of white space, just extra return carriages, which isn't a big deal. But then when you go to look at your tree, you don't get as many lines in there. So if I could just go in there, edit, and pull it back up, I would get more of the summary. So it's just a small thing, but that's awesome. I love that.
It is.
Yay for Mel.
Oh, that wasn't mine. That was, that was Joseph's innovation. I love that. Joseph has done so much work on this. It's amazing how fast he's been able to pull this together, and like all of the bugs and all of the little nitpicking that I've been doing, because I'm like, we have to fix this, like, because on my list is we need to make this editing box so that it's a little bit more like how Raptor is, where it's got a stable frame, so that you don't have to, so you can always see the save changes button, so that you don't forget you actually have to save the changes. Joe does not sleep. I agree. Joe doesn't sleep.
Joe doesn't sleep. Carlo doesn't sleep. I'm not sure about you either, Mel.
I mean,
I'm sleeping extra for all you guys.
I appreciate that, Stacey.
I make sure to get my naps in, so I don't. I'm the only one on the team actually sleeping nowadays.
Well, there's so much to do, and it's so much fun.
But this is awesome. And chapter by chapter, you can rerun each chapter. If you happen to not like, you can run. But then once you move on to the next chapter, it kind of locks the previous chapters in, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So now that we're generating chapter 2, we cannot go back and edit chapter 1. So unless you're admin, and then you can do some extra bits. But yeah, but
even I don't play around in the admin thing.
Yeah. Once you move on, You're locked in that chapter 1. And then chapter 2 is up, and then you can edit chapter 2. You can regenerate chapter 2. you can wildly diverge from the story itself. You can say, I really don't like where this is going in chapter 2. Let me go back into the worksheet and completely renovate chapter 2. And then you also need to update the rest of the act, which is why I personally like going act by act now, because I changed things and there's less for me to have to fix.
Okay,
So
so
now
any
that-
changes you make in the story dossier would then obviously come into play with any regenerations.
Exactly. Yep. So if you want to change chapter 2, the place, like if you want to make a major change, it's not just a regenerate kind of thing. It's a major, I need to change this because I don't like where this is going. I don't like the tone of it. I don't like whatever you don't like. It's coming from your worksheet. So you need to go back to your worksheet, read what you've got for the chapter 2 or whatever chapter you're on, and make your changes there. And if you make those changes there, then you can come back, regenerate the chapter again, and it should be what you want it to be. But don't forget to fix the following chapters because it'll get confused. I mean, it'll probably follow the story from chapter 2 on, but you want to...
You essentially have to revalidate again, make sure
Exactly.
the blueprint now follows everywhere follows that change.
Precisely. So yeah. So now we can say we can open Reader and we'll be able to look at chapter 1, but we can't make any changes to chapter 1. And we can see chapter 2 in the Reader. But really the only thing we can edit now is chapter 2. Very
That's
normal.
it?
It's sorry?
That's all?
Yeah.
Let me see. That's all you can oh, I see. Sorry, I lost track. I was like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Once you move on, it's locked in.
Right. Okay. All right. I get it now.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do it all in one session. If you kind of save where you're at, you can leave, come back next day, 2 days later, and keep going, correct?
Right. Exactly.
Nice.
Yep.
Gotta love the way that works. I mean, remember, you're off to the races before. The moment you hit that thing, it's done. I mean, couldn't stop it if you wanted to.
Well, this is awesome, Mel. Thank you so much. You've given us so many tips and tricks and a little insider view into it.
Yeah.
You're down to 5 credits in there.
Yeah. This is
Are you really down to 5 credits?
Well, so I set up a separate account because my primary account is bloated with a lot of projects that from testing, from doing all the things.
Right.
And it's not something that's going to impact anybody currently, but because I have so many projects, it takes it a little bit longer to load. And I wanted to make sure that I had a nice clean slate for teaching and for doing recordings and stuff. So
this is a good question. How many times can you, thanks Stacey for popping this up. How many times can you rewrite a chapter before moving on?
I'm assuming you regenerate, but yeah.
Yeah, regenerate. I don't think that we have put a limit on it yet. If it's something that becomes
an issue.
Yeah, if you're
that's the best way to put
regenerating
that.
every chapter like 50 times, we're probably going to reach out to you and offer you some help with maybe working with your story dossier or something.
Exactly.
Like there's something that's not working with you, but at the moment, no. Just if you need to do it each chapter, do it each chapter.
Yep. Oh, we got another good question there too.
Yep. Are we able to work on multiple projects at the same time? Mel, I know you know this answer.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. So you can totally, like, if I wanted to, I could have chapters running for all 3 of these stories at the same time. So
Stacey,
if you want to, you can go from one story, get it started on the generation for the chapter. If you can work that way, where you can mentally switch gears between 3 different stories at the same time, I welcome you to or and partake of
you could
the
also
beauty
just
of your
let
first draft.
them set up, like if you know you're doing a trilogy, you can like get them set up, and maybe like the genre and the characters are all the same because it's a
Yes.
series or something. So you could start like cutting and pasting the characters into all of them. So you don't have
Right.
to run them, but you can have them open as well.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm working on now is series development. So,
Oh, inside of YFD.
well, eventually, right now I'm looking at how we can work with the current structure the way it is and build on top of that, because I think we're in a really good spot right now, and we
Mm.
definitely want to keep enhancing it and keep adding new features and everything, but we have so much innovation on our plate that we have to time everything. So, but we need some series information, and we're gonna make some stuff possible. So it's gonna be a fun year. Let's just say that.
Next
We gotta-
year?
Well, like Elizabeth said in another stream, you don't even know about Simon.
Wha- That is one of the it's someone put a short up on our YouTube, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was probably Elizabeth or something,
Mhm.
and she was like, you don't, it was like 45-second long video.
Yep.
And she's like ranting, and she's like, and you don't even know about Simon. I was like, when did she become a black woman from Baltimore? And you don't even know about Simon. So
Yeah.
let me
But-
let you know, y'all, we have so many innovations going on here at the Future Fiction Academy. We have been doing this hardcore since 6 months after GPT, the first GPT boom. 6 months after that, this actual channel went up on YouTube. It was in like May or something like that. It was and we have been on top of this the whole time. Ladies, this has been so much fun.
Absolutely.
I Mel, so now
Mhm.
now that you've officially done the thing,
On the thing.
you should come on with just me.
Okay.
Oh, we
And
should get
I want to do two things.
get
I want
Mel.
to talk about I want to talk about and kind of just have an interview with Mel, talk about kind of her background in literature, what her philosophy is when writing with artificial intelligence, how she came up with all of these different, stuff like that. I would love to have that conversation with you, because
Sure.
let's be real, you can cut that sucker up in the 800 million shorts, because you are dropping the nuggets all the damn time. I mean, today was ridiculous. Today was ridiculous.
Happy I could help.
Yes. But the second thing I want to do is really do another deep dive into your first draft and start going esoteric. I mean, really, really think about what are the advantages of having a blueprint as a blueprint that's completely filled out as opposed to an open canvas one. What is the big advantage of actually going chapter? What do you? All right, so let me ask you that. Let's ask you that right now,
Okay.
so that we can get this out of the way, so that people don't have to worry about this for the rest of their life. What is the big advantage of doing it chapter by chapter? What are you, for you, the way you've been doing it?
Mm-hmm.
What is the big advantage?
The whole draft at once?
As opposed to doing the whole draft at once?
For me, it's really coming down to that editing thing, because once the story is done, like once I have that draft complete thing, it's like, okay, that story's done. I need to move on to the next new shiny thing. So doing it chapter by chapter kind of forces me to get that first edit out of the way, so that I'll actually have a finished story, and then I don't have to worry about doing massive developmental editing, because I've done a big swath of it as I go. And you know what I mean? So it's like, to me, that's the biggest advantage to chapter by chapter. But there are other advantages too. It's like Stacey said earlier, if you want, or maybe it was Echo, I can't remember. Sorry. But if you want to get that voice just right for your second POV character, or if you've got multiple POVs and you want to do a chapter from each of those POVs, just to make sure that you've got their voice locked in before you continue, that's an excellent way to do it. So,
Oh,
but
and to
honestly,
go into the chapter multiple ways and look at it, that's a really good way to evaluate whether or not you're hitting it too.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Stacey?
Yeah, I'm with Mel. I like it when I'm done. And I also like that I can switch up gears halfway through.
Mm.
Just because with some stories I can easy peasy book machine it, as in just wherever the AI takes the story,
Yes.
I am there as a reader as much as the author, and just to let it go. Some stories, I am very much a control freak. I have a direction I want it to go in, and I want to make sure it's going in that direction. And sometimes if you generate it the full time, it might veer off of it, and you have to be okay with that. If you go chapter by chapter, you can push it back in line each chapter if you have a direction or a plot you really want it to follow.
That's a great point, because I think that for me is one of the biggest things, because a lot of times I'll get struck by inspiration by something random that the AI says in one of the chapters, and then it's like, oh, well, now I want to go in this different direction because you've given me an idea. And that means that 2/3 of the generated content is not wasted, but not really useful anymore either. So it's like, it feels like waste. It feels wasted.
Okay, here are a couple of questions.
Yes.
Should we prioritize series before micro niches, niche templates? My humble opinion.
That's not a question. That's Carlo.
Dang
But yeah.
nabbit. I thought the exclamation point at the end was a question mark. I got fooled.
Well, I mean, that's good. That's a good comment too, though. But yeah, we will prioritize series before we get like way deep into the micro niche-ness of it all. We'll stick with the subgenres for the moment, and then there may be some other fun things on the horizon for micro niche topics. So we'll see what we get to there.
Please, y'all, stop making suggestions. You're just gonna make her like her little brain explode with she is ideation.
Yes.
she is ideation. So I mean, she's spinning. Mel, would you say that probably your biggest problem in this world is that you have too many ideas?
Oh yeah. Yep.
That ain't no joke, y'all. I've seen her in meetings. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Anyway.
And then, real quick, Mary, before you activate the project, it will tell you how many tokens it is. So before you actually commit to it, and I think offhand it's 0 to 10 is half a token, 11 to 20 is a full token, and then every 10 is another half token.
Unless of course you decide that you want to write chapter by chapter, then any price that it is, any amount of tokens that it is right now, just take it up by 1/2 of a token, and that will be the price of doing it chapter by chapter.
Yep, but before you ever lock it in, it will show you how much it is.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you don't know exactly how many chapters you want to write, the brackets, the nice thing about the brackets is that they do go up to the next 10, basically. So if you're like, well, I think I'm going to need 20, somewhere between 20 and 30 chapters for this story, then you're automatically locked in for the 30 chapter. And if you have 22 chapters, that's fine. If you have 28 chapters, that's fine. If you have 30 chapters, that's fine. We haven't gotten a mechanism yet for if you need to go even longer, but that might be something on the future too.
What do you mean longer?
Like
31 chapters.
30 chapters, yeah, and you need more chapters. That's on the list of things to address.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't you just use another token or half a token?
We don't.
After you've already locked it in.
Yeah, but we need to build a mechanism in the system so that you can add on additional chapters.
Oh.
So now, if you want to add additional chapters, you need to either email dean@futurefictionacademy.com, submit a ticket through Discord, or ping me in Discord, and we can take care of it for you manually. So that's a
It's a manual
future
thing, the back end.
a future feature. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So the issue is to add on, if you want to add more chapters on than you already started out with. Is that what you mean?
If you want to bump up a category, so if you want to go from 25 chapters to 32 chapters, that's another half credit.
Yeah.
Because
you
you're going
have no
into
way to do that once you've already locked in the blueprint.
right. So once you activate the project, you're in that tier basically. So if you say that my story is going to be 25 chapters in planning, then you're paying for a total of 30 chapters. But then after you've done the outline, you're like, well, heck, I'm going to need another 6 chapters to tell this story. So I'm going to need, I can't remember the numbers I started with. So you need another
31.
X number of chapters. Yeah, you're going to be like, I need to get up to 35 chapters now. So we don't, once you activate the project, we don't have a
mechanism in order to increase your
pay the next
total
amount
chapter count. Yeah. So that's what we
automatically. We'd have to do it manually.
I'm just trying to figure out where the logistical spot in YFD you would have, like, would be your line of dispensation. You know what I mean? What is the line? Yeah. What's the line that stops you? You know what I mean? From like inside of the process, not actually like as you go through your process in YFD. Where's the last moment?
Oh,
you know what I mean? What's the last moment that you can?
I think we're getting really far in the confusing weeds for most people here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I just, I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Technically, we can fix it for you in admin.
Just email or ping us. We can fix it manually.
Stacey, can you answer this one?
What does future token credits cost? Once you buy it, right now they're $75 a credit, and there is a buy credit, or it's $75 one token, 710 tokens, 1,320 tokens. And there is just a buy credit tokens in the top right corner.
And and this program actually does what it says it does. It writes a first draft for you from beginning to end. As long as you put in the work, this is not push a button and you are just off to the races. You have an idea. Oh, I got an idea. And then boom, 3 seconds later, you've got a full thing. You've got to go through the entire process and you've got to validate your worksheet. Yes. If you don't, look, even if you're pantsing, you need to know exactly where the story is going, how it's built, all of those things. Am I crazy?
Yes. No, you're not crazy. But what I've discovered just this week is that if you're pantsing, you don't actually have to know where the story is going. You can go chapter by chapter and figure it out as you go.
Well, how do you do that with the worksheet?
You delete all the extra stuff.
Just delete all the extra stuff.
Delete all the extra stuff. It's super flexible. It's way more flexible than I even imagined. But then it's the impetus is then on the author to make sure that the chapters are good and that they're going the right way. And that if you do need to change things, that you're keeping track of that, and your worksheet becomes an organic kind of living document for pantsers. I mean, even for non-pantsers, for plotters and pantsers. But if you make a change in the story itself, as the chapters are coming out, then you need to document that change in your worksheet so that you can keep track of it, so that the AI can keep track of it, so that you don't start getting all sorts of weird stuff happening. The worksheet is your friend. The chapters are your friend.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
You're cool and thank you is what Kurt said to you now. Cool. Not even cool, but kill.
Nice.
Kill.
So this weekend we have Elizabeth's Catcher If You Can. So click the bell and you'll get notified. I think she's going to post in the AI Writing for Authors group on Facebook and our Discord if you're a member of that.
Remember, this works if you're already subscribed, so you can still go down and hit the notification bell, even if you're subscribed right now. If you are not subscribed right now, what the heck are you doing? Come on over, get yourself subscribed right this second. Like this video right this second. And thank you, Mel, for showing up. Thank you, Stacey, for helping me host here today. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are the Future Fiction Academy. We do AI and creativity. We do it really well. We even build software to get it done. And we make classes to teach you how to use the software. It is all here, one stop shop. Join the accelerator. Join the accelerator and get yourself in small groups and classes and all of the archives that we have here at the Future Fiction Academy. Stacey, do you have anything to say before we get out of here?
No. See you in labs. Nope, time to go. That's my bedtime. 90 minutes when Stacey's here.
She's like, and bye.
We are at 97 minutes.
97, yeah, we're at 97 minutes. We have 7 minutes over. She was trying to wrap this sucker up 20 minutes ago. I saw you, but you know, we had to people please. We had to please the people.
That's right.
That's why I was trying to wrap you up 20 minutes. So that way you had 20 minutes of people pleasing and you went 27 minutes.
No, we're good to go. We are good to go. Ladies and gentlemen.
One last thing. Brief. There are community classes on the calendar. If you want to join the community classes, if you have some issues with your first draft, with Draft.AI, with whatever, hop into a community class and ask questions and we'll have a great time.
All right.
Absolutely. Everyone's welcome in community class.
Yep.
Everyone is welcome in community class. You know why we call it community class, everybody? Because it's free. It's free. So you could go ahead on and join us for the community class. Get lots of good information, a little taste of what the accelerator is like. And we have links in the description below to get you all the information that you need. Please click all of those things. We have been having ourselves a blast with artificial intelligence, and we hope that you do too. All right, everyone. I'm Mikel O'Hara. This is Stacey Anderson, and the Mel is also in the house too. We look forward to seeing you next Friday, and we'll try and have all kinds of cool things for you this weekend with Catch You If You Can. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody, from the Future Fiction Academy. See you in class.
In this digital age, where the world is at our fingertips, we're dreamers, we're believers, reaching for the stars, yeah. With AI by our side, possibilities endless and bright. There's a future full of
Come on now.
promise and it's within our grasp.
Come on.
So let's